Hello again. In this video, I would like to talk a little bit about the juicy part of Git. In the first video, I told you Git as if everything is perfect, and when you just add changes, commit your changes and push them, everything will be on the cloud, and when you pull them, everything will be on your PC. Yes, actually it is, but things get a little bit challenging when you start collaborating with the people. Especially when two people change the same line of code, then GitHub is a little bit confused. Some people can have real struggles and can give up using GitHub for good. And I don't want you to end up there. That's why I would like to introduce you how to solve merge conflicts. First and foremost, what is the merge conflict? Basically, when you have something in remote, one person changes something and another person changes the same thing, then Git confuses which ones work to keep. Let me show you on my slides. Normally, when you want to combine everyone's work, let's say we have a code on the remote and everyone has their own version of the code, the person A and the person B. And then person A changes the line 4 and line 5 when he or she is working on their PC and want to put it to the remote. And also person B is changing, let's say, the line 15, 16 and 17 and want to push it to the remote to combine everyone's work. GitHub is quite smart that can push all those things into the remote automatically, and everyone's work is on the remote without having a problem. But the problem occurs when both person A and person B wants to change the same line. Then the remote is confused which person's input I should get. The same thing happens, for example, when you change your code on the browser on the remote, and then without actually pulling those changes, if you do the changes on your PC and try to push it, you will experience the same problem. So as soon as you change the same line in two different pull requests, then you will have a problem. Normally, what we want to do is that when you are collaborating on a project, everyone should work their own branch and then you merge the branches. This is how we normally want everyone to use it. But the branch concept might be a little bit confusing and new for someone. That's why at the moment I will continue only on the main branch, but I will talk a little bit about the branches afterwards. So at the moment I am alone in this repository. That's why I cannot show you if two people changes how things happen, but I can create a merge conflict on my browser, on the remote itself, because then it is almost like a new person. Let me show you. So now I would like to change this line. Changes the second line from the cloud on my PC. I will change it to changed on local. And in here, I haven't pushed and pulled anything here. And in here either, I would like to just go there and change it from our changed on remote. So currently, I automatically press Ctrl S, just a habit. At the moment, two people, one is working on the remote and one who is working on the local, change the very same line. I would like to first push the changes on my remote to create a merge conflict later on. And then, since these changes have happened on top of the prior version of the project, if I go back to source control, add my file and change line to add a proper commit message and commit it and try to synchronize it, then I get an error. And the error says, in here, on this line, you have a problem. For every single line, when you have a longer project, then you will have this problem in every chunk of the code. It says, on this line, you try to change, your current change is this. You try to print on local. But since you pulled the previous version of the project, someone has changed that line to this one. This is the incoming change. This is the change that you are trying to do. What should you do? Visual Studio Code gives a very nice merge editor functionality here, and you can see the changes there. On the left, it says, this is the incoming change. So those are already on the remote. Do you want to keep this? Or do you want to keep this, which is the current change on your local? That was the original file. So if I want to keep things on the remote, then I can accept all these. But also I can choose this one as well. So I can keep both changes. But if I want only one, then I can choose whatever I want to keep, either on local or on the remote. But it is possible to keep both, and the result will show this one. So I'm happy with the final version of my file. I'm sure that my friend's content is in it, my content is in it, or whatever I want to have. When I'm finally happy with the result, I can complete merge. Now this commit is automatically written saying that we are merging the branch main. Since we have only one branch at the moment, it's on the main. We are not going to do anything about it yet, but this is not a very nice way of doing it. Let me just tell one more time. So I will continue. And also I want you to pay an attention over here. You remember we tried to change line 2, but it was a bit problematic. And on my origin, there was another update. So I see that there is a new branching issue going on. But in the end, I will end up on the same point when we merge it. So I can synchronize the changes now. Now my final version of my file is there in the merge part. This was the remote line of history, and this was on my main branch history, and I changed directly on the local, but I ended up in the same place again. So if I now, because now I merged it, everyone has that version of this file, I can refresh the page and I can see that both are here. If I chose only one, then only one line would be showing up in here. This is how you would combine everyone's work. That can be multiple people, or that can be only one person doing changes both in remote and the local. Doesn't matter, it will appear in the same way. And another thing I would like to show you very nice about GitHub, which is history. As I said, we are keeping a track of history, but am I supposed to just go and see what changes there and try by typing them again? Of course not. We are going to jump to that history. How? Let me show you. So now I would like to put both my File Explorer and my Visual Studio side by side, and I want you to see what is changing in my repository where my .git folder is, and I would like to see what happens when I jump through history. This is my current version of my file. For some reason, let's say it is not working, and I have no idea why. What I can do is just go in between my commits. I can just go in and see what happened, for example, at this level. That was when I create the test.py, I can see it. And afterwards, I go to test.py again. After the new line edits, I see this one I have added actually. So I know what I'm doing. And I know that was the last commit when my project was working, and I want to see if I'm remembering it correct. So am I supposed to copy paste them in my current version? No, I don't have to. What I can do, let's say this commit was the one that was working properly lastly. I can just right click and then check out, deattach. When you deattach there, your whole file system is updated, the version when this commit was created. And I think that this was okay. Now I see that was the final thing. And if I, for example, go to my file explorer and test.py was working back then, I can double check test.py is working, so everything seems good. I can go back to my history and see in here how the things were. I can go and check out there. It means that I jump to that version now, and I see that my files also uploaded, or how do you call it, updated. And test2.py is here now, and I can check if my test2.py was working properly. Yes, my test2.py is working properly, so I'm debugging my things. And finally, when I'm happy with whatever I want to check, I can always go back to my final branch and I can check out to my final branch here. So this is the final branch of my system. By the way, in here I'm seeing all the branches, and I can change those branches in here, whatever the branch I want to see. At the moment I have the origin main, which is the main branch on the remote, and my local branch here. I would like to keep it in auto, but if you want to see different story of the project, you can always change it. And I would like to finally, when I'm happy with this version, I can check out, so whichever branch I will be continuing to work on, I can just jump to my main and I can do my changes again. Now I'm here, print, add more things. And I'm happy. I can add things, I can write my message, more things, edit, commits, and I can synchronize the changes, and those changes will be updated in here. So that part you already know, but this checkout and detach part was new. I hope it was useful. One more time, if we want to jump to another version of our project, we can just check out to that branch. When we are done with this going through what has happened before part, you just need to go back to wherever you want your project to add stuff. Then at that part you just go there and then check out to that branch to continue working. I hope it was useful. Please let me know if you have any questions. If not, good luck with your projects.